And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to episode 204 of Player Life, the benefits of sobriety. All right. What up? Gabriel in house says, I wish you were at Hot Dude Con San Diego, Mac. It was a great time. Yeah, man. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll get over to America. Would have been cool to be there, but yeah, maybe next time. Um, yes. I had a pretty wild weekend. That's that is why I'm choosing today's topic to talk about sobriety. Um, but yeah, um, good times. And yeah, last night I went to see the Matrix, and it was all right, I guess. Um, I got mad blue pill vibes off the movie though, ironically, even though seemed a little bit woke. There was some, I don't know. Once you become familiar with the real red pill, I guess the honestly the real red pill, the red pill in the manosphere is kind of, it's different. It's a little bit different from the red pill in the Matrix. Um, but I don't know. They're just, obviously it's Hollywood. They're gonna incorporate blue pill elements. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Riley in the house. What's up, brother? What is good? Um, yeah. Yeah, this weekend was pretty wild. So I went out. I met up with a friend. I met up with a friend on Friday evening. I think we just linked up for a coffee. Um, we linked up for late coffee, and after drinking a coffee, you're kind of energized, right? But my friend had work the next morning, so he went home. So I was like, okay, it's Friday evening. Gonna do a bit of game. When you're out in Tokyo, it's easy to get in the mood to do some game because there's hot girls. There's always hot girls around you. It's easy to get distracted and get in the mood to do some game, especially when it's a Friday night. So I'm walking around. I'm doing some game. I'm talking to some chicks. I'm getting some numbers, and I walk by this bar, right? And I see a guy I know outside it, more of an acquaintance, but start talking to him. He says, "Come on in. I'm gonna buy you a shot." And I was like, I wasn't really, I didn't really want to. I wasn't really planning on drinking. I mean, but as of late, I'm gonna be, full frontal. Now I've been kind of falling off the wagon regarding the booze because I'm kind of, for a long while I was, going sober for longest time. But I've recently definitely been drinking a bit. Um, but yeah, so we went in and got a shot. I just said, "Fuck it, okay. Well, if you're gonna buy me a shot, I'll drink it." So I drank it. But the thing about me is, when I get one drink in, that's I'm gone. I'm gone. Like I'm drinking for the night pretty much. Um well, that's not true. I'd say it's like 50-50. I'd say it's a 50-50 thing where it's like, yeah, sometimes but it's up in the air, you never know. But yeah, sometimes I'd say 50% of the chance it's like, damn, I'm in it. There's no half measures. But yeah, so stayed in that bar way longer than I intended. Got talking to these American guys. They were pretty cool. They were just, honestly, to be quite honest, we were just slamming back liquor. There was no beer. There was no beer had. Just fucking slamming back liquor. Um, just slamming them down. Like, the thing about drinking is getting wasted. Is it's fun. Like, it's fucking fun. It's a fun time. But it's the the price you pay for it is like, in the moment it's fun. It seems like a lot of fun. But if you know the like if you're looking at it from an outside perspective, you might be coming across as very obnoxious, very annoying. Plus the price you pay the next day with the hangover, the things you do. Yeah, but in the moment it's a fun time. That's why that's why it's so appealing. That's why it's appealing. But yeah, so I mean, honestly, there wasn't that many girls in the bar. There was one girl. There was one girl that was like kind of giving IOIs, but yeah, I mean, the other thing about when you're drinking like in a bar, it's very distracting. It's very like booze is very distracting from like if you're actually wanting to meet chicks, like it can help a lot as well. It can help. It can give you that. It can make you relax and give you that confidence, but it can also distract you from your mission. Like if you're out actually to look for chicks. But anyway, she was this girl. She was with this like she was a hot girl with this like I don't know, really short Japanese looking dude, and she was just looking around giving IOIs because she clearly didn't want to be in that situation. Sometimes these girls will do this a lot. Like if girls are in like they'll look to be taken out of the situation, but yeah, I talked to her for a bit, but I was already half lit at that point, so I was, if I was sober, I would have taken her out of the bar. Like I would have, I just would have done it. I would have taken her out because she was like wanting to be taken out of this. She wanted to like, she was just there. She was there alone, like, and there was this Japanese guy, small Japanese guy that she didn't want to be with, that was like talking with her. But no, I was at that point. I was like fucking, you know, I was like getting lit off some shots. Riley says I'm the same way. I do one drink, I get a little buzz. It's one of the things I never cared for. Um, yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, I once you get the first drink in, you know, it's difficult to stop. Like it's just I don't know because you get the buzz. Well, I get the buzz, and then I'll continue. I'll just continue. It's like people are saying, "Oh, just drink responsibly. Drink responsibly." I was like, dude, like it's not because like when you drink, when you get a few in, it's like you're altering your mind. You're changing. So it's way harder to think responsibly. You're not thinking like that. Well, I'm not anyway. Um, so uh, Wade in the house. What's up, brother? What is good? Um, yeah. So that was by the time I left the bar, I was just like fucking lit. I went round. I was like, I mean, it was fun. I mean, I was roll. I left the bar alone. I just rolled out. I didn't even bother like trying to take the girl with me, even though I could have. Um, I really could have. I really could have taken that girl. I mean, she was pretty hot too. So I mean, really is distracting. And it wasn't because I didn't like. It wasn't because I was too like nervous to try and no take it with me. No, I was just didn't give a fuck. I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna roll around, walk around, and just see where the night takes me. But at this point, I had already missed the last train, so I was like, I was out for the night at that point, and you know, I was just like, oh man, things became a blur after that. But yeah, I remember walking around doing game, like talking to chicks, like like having a fun time, like being getting having fun with chicks on the street, just talking to them and joking around and um but like totally aimless, not like I don't know, just very aimless. There's no I wasn't even trying to get numbers or anything. I was just like I was just yeah, wild dog at that point. But I wasn't even trying to get numbers. I remember walking up to all these different girls, and I was like, hitting it off with them. At this point I can still remember. Like I can still remember I was hitting it off with these hot girls, and like just even kind of escalating even on the street. And and just not even bothering to get numbers, not even bother to exchange Instagram or anything like that. I was like, I just didn't give a fuck. I was just kind of in the moment. Like I was in the moment. I wasn't really caring about, uh, getting numbers or anything like that. So yeah, it was just, it was, I don't know what I was doing really. I was just fucking drunk, I guess. But yeah, after that, it got hazy. I definitely went to some clubs. I went to some clubs. I can barely remember like what I did in there. I I I cannot. I don't even know. Yeah, I barely remember what I did like in the clubs. And then the next part I remember is coming out. I remember coming out and just like when I came out of the club, I for some reason I don't remember what I did in the clubs. I like just have some kind of like flashbacks, but I can't really remember. I think I remember talking to the bouncer or something. I don't know. He was an Australian guy. Um, I don't know. I don't. I definitely. I was probably acting pretty rowdy in there, pretty. But yeah. When I came out on, on this, I was out till the morning time. But I remember I went to some ramen shop, and I was just like fucking talking shit to all these like Japanese people and whoever that was around me. At this point, totally wasted. I mean, if I had a camera, if I could see a recording of me at that point, I'm sure that it would not. I would not. I would not get good feelings. I'm sure I was talking some seriously dumb shit, right? But yeah. So that's when it gets like, just the ROI on drinking is. That's what when I was saying that, in the moment it's fun, right? You feel like you're having like a lot of fun, but you're actually acting like a retard. Like if you wouldn't want to behave like that really ever. Um, so that's why there's a low ROI on it. Um, you know, uh, yeah, it seems fun at the time. You're like you're wilding out. You don't give a fuck about anything. You just you're in that careless kind of moment. Um, but yeah, if you actually saw yourself, like if you saw someone like that, it's not the kind of person you're going to want to be around. You're going to be quite annoying. Like, we've all seen it. We've all been around these people that are, that are drunk, and you're kind of fucked. Like, shut the fuck up. You're loud. You're annoying. You get away from me, kind of shit. But yeah, when you're in the moment, that's like you don't really care. Um, yeah. So anyway, I eventually I got home somehow. I must have gotten the first train. I must have gotten the first train. So yeah, that was fucking that was yeah, Friday night. That was Friday night. and yeah, I lost my well, I thought I lost my AirPods, which I woke up the next day and couldn't find my AirPods. I was like, fuck, I lost my AirPods. That's an L. That's a fucking L for the night. I lost my fucking AirPods. That's annoying. It's $300 down. Not to mention all the fucking money I spent on drink, um, and the clubs and shit. And then I realized I lost my glove. Like I just bought these like North Face gloves. It's another $70. It's such a waste. Like such a waste. But you know, I remembered that, I was in the ramen shop. So I said, fuck it. I woke up, by the way, I woke up the next day. When was it? Oh shit, I'm mixing up the days. Okay, so anyway, um, no, no, no. On Friday night, I didn't lose anything. I I got home. I got home, but I woke up the next day I woke up the next day like 3 p.m. and yeah, I woke up and it was fucking just like hungover. I could barely, I couldn't really, had no appetite. I was dehydrated. I felt really bad. I woke up like 3. I didn't even get a good sleep, man. Alcohol, alcohol. You never get into a deep sleep with alcohol. Like it's like you can pass out and like be, out cold, but you don't enter that deep fucking sleep that you need. You know, you always wake, no matter how much you sleep. When you've drank that much, you'll still wake up and you'll still be fucking wrecked. You'll still be wrecked. Like even if you like, I don't know, your body just you're not in that deep sleep. If you get what I'm trying to say, like no matter how much you sleep, you'll still wake up and your body will be exhausted just from from poisoning yourself all night. But anyway, I woke up. It was like 3 p.m. Couldn't really eat anything. Um, drank a bunch of water. But my friend was one of friends in Tokyo. He was having a Christmas party, and he really wanted me to come. And another friend of mine was going, so we were supposed to go at like pretty early, actually 4:30. And I called up my friend. I was like, "Yo, dude, you go ahead, and I'll meet you at the house because it was another friend's house." So yeah, I was like, I'll come a bit later, just because I wasn't gonna be ready by then. I had to get my shit together. I was like just fucked up from the night before, and so yeah, I got my shit together. I knew I had to eat something, so instead, like I couldn't. It was really hard. Like when you drink whiskey, all shots and whiskey, I didn't drink any beer. It was just like liquor, like hard liquor all night, all fucking night, hard liquor. Just you know, you can't really, I can't eat anything anyway. Like when I've done that, it's just there's no way. So, but I had to get something into me. So instead, the easiest thing I could consume, I just needed to get something in my stomach. So I wasn't, because so I just made a protein shake, drank the protein shake, had a shower, you know, got ready, and went to my friend's house party, Christmas house party. And, I was just like, still like, at that point, it was about 7 p.m. on Saturday, so at that point, I felt so like, I felt like my skin was crawling. Like, I was so fucked up. And my friend handed me a beer, and I tried to drink it, and I almost puked. I almost fucking puked. Like it was like this nasty, fucking nasty beer. I just fucking could not have it anymore. I just had to, you know. But so instead, I was like, but what I would be able to drink was you know, whiskey, like a liquor and 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 some Coke, because it's doesn't taste as putrid as beer. When you're hungover and you try and drink a beer, it's not. I can't do it anyway. But I was like, fuck. The only way I can be at this in this party environment, the only way I can be in this in this environment is because I felt sick and I was like fucking sweating and shit, and I was like, so I said, fuck. And the only thing that's gonna cure this is if I drink again. I was like, shit. Oh man. So I started drinking whiskey and cola at my friend's house party, and you know, started to feel better. To be honest, like I did. Like it started to cure me. The alcohol started to cure my ails. It's horrible, man. But I mean, when you do that, when you cure like a hangover with alcohol, you're gonna pay the price for that. It's gonna be the hangover the next day is gonna be way worse. Like it's gonna be a double whammy. It's gonna be a double whammy of a hangover. When you do that, there's nothing. There's no free shit. There's a price to be paid for everything. There is a price to be paid, man. Oh man, you will never have a work. Like if you do the rollover, man. If you really do the rollover, like you're gonna have a fucking, yeah. And then, man, there's times where you can keep, some people just drink every day. And that's, when they come off alcohol, they have some serious withdrawal. Like they have some serious withdrawal. But I think the worst withdrawal I ever had from alcohol, like it was one of the worst experiences in my life. I remember, oh man, there's been a few, man. There's been a few times where I've had like, I think two come to mind. There was one time in college. In college, I was like, it was in Ireland. We have this week. It's like a party week. I guess it's like I'm not gonna call it spring break because it's not that, but we have a week in Ireland in college. It's called Rag Week. I don't even know why it's called Rag Week, but it's called Rag Week, and it's a week of where there's events on, and each college in Ireland would have it, and yeah, pretty much like, yeah, in the culture of Ireland and in college, like obviously you're gonna be drinking like every day, pretty much. I remember oh my god, I remember like like a week solid, like every day I drank every day, and not just a few beers, not just like drinking until like you're fucking drunk, like every day for a week. Like not like I said, not just like a few beers, not just like a few little drinks and then go home and get a good sleep. No, no, fucking not even eating properly, like for a week, like just drinking, like you can't eat properly when you're drinking. That's why the real alcoholics are not fat. That's one thing. If you go to a place like Ireland and you see alcoholics, the real alcoholics, like the fucking the real ones are not fat because you can't eat when you drink like that. You're stripping the lining from your stomach. You can't digest food really. Like that's why when you go to Ireland and if you go to Ireland or anywhere, I mean, there's alcoholics all over the world, but the alcoholics in Ireland, that's why But I understand it because I'm the same. Like when I'm drinking, I don't really eat. Can't really eat, especially when you're drinking till you're drunk. Your appetite, you lose your appetite really. Um, if you're drinking liquor and it just tears away the acids in your stomach, and you won't feel like eating. Um, it's bad, man. But yeah, I remember that week was just like, man. At the end of it, I had this like, man. I remember it. Yeah, I remember that. Didn't the finally it was like a uh, it was the week. It was so I think it was Saturday night or whatever. Saturday night, the week's over, so the weekend. It was the weekend, but it was I had been drinking all week. Um, I've been drinking all week, and so Saturday was the night that I actually I wasn't drinking. Um, so every weekday I was drinking. So I guess it was like 5 days straight of drinking, like heavy drinking, and then um, yeah, no, I just remember the night, like just feel the feeling of exhaustion. But I remember trying to sleep, and it was just like there was no sleep, but I was just like almost having these hallucinations. Like there was like I was seeing these nightmarish visions and stuff. And yeah, I think it's called DTs. alcohol withdrawal. Let's just call it with alcohol withdrawal syndrome. Um, I think there's a name for it. DTs. Delirium tremens. Uh, delirium ter- tremens. I think. Yeah. I mean, I kind of did have a little bit. Yeah, yeah. So maybe if you might not, you can call it alcohol withdrawal, but let me just share. Yeah, so it's called delirium tremens. So what is delirium tremens? Delirium tremens is also called DTs or alcohol withdrawal. Alcohol withdrawal delirium is a severe type of withdrawal from alcohol. It usually starts about 2 to 3 days after someone who's dependent on alcohol ends a long drinking binge. DTs usually last 2 to 3 days, but symptoms may linger for as long as a week. About 5% of people in alcohol withdrawal get DTs. If untreated, delirium tremens can cause a heart attack, stroke, and death. I mean, mine. I wouldn't say it was that severe. It might not have been that severe because, but I was like 5 days straight, you know, and 5 days straight of drinking, and yeah, it was pretty much the next day. But I didn't have it didn't last like for I can't remember. It's years ago now. Like it's like, but yeah, I definitely had hallucinations, like kind of hallucinations. Kind of not severe ones, but just in a dark room, seeing just horrible imagery and stuff. Um, Not a good time. Not a good time. But yeah, and there's been one or two others, but yeah, know your worth calls it the shakes. Another way to call it is, you kind of have the fear. In Ireland, we call it, we have a word for it because we call it like the fear. You drink so much and you wake up the next day and you have this mad anxiety and you're shaking. You just feel anxious about life. It's, um, Matt W says, disagree. My stepdad drank a giant bottle of Jack every day and more. He was 280 pounds. Well, I guess it depends on your body type too. I mean, it depends on your body type. Um, I guess it's going to be different for each person. Um, uh, Matt W says, I hear you though. Known plenty of scrawny drunks like EA too, but scrawny guys just live on alcohol alone. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's yeah, some people just can live on it. You need you need stamina to be. You really do need, like, being an alcoholic isn't easy. It is not. You need to have mad stamina because you're like fucking beating your body up like every day. Like it's like you're beating yourself up, um, like poisoning yourself every day. It is poison. Um, it is like a poison. You're pretty much poisoning yourself. Um, but yeah. So where was I going with this? Yeah, no. So yeah, back to the present time. That was years ago. But I mean, and there's been a few in between. But yeah, so I was at this house party and I was curing my hangover. I was curing my hangover with liquor because I couldn't drink beer. I was too hungover for beer. So I started drinking the liquor. This was the rollover. I'd barely eaten. I drank a fucking protein shake, and I was at this house party. I started drinking liquor and coke, and I was I started having a good time. There was some cute girls there. I ended up hooking up with this. ended up hooking up with this Filipino chick. Just it was kind of like a classic house party because there was mostly foreigners there. But yeah, I ended up hooking up with this chick. It was funny, but yeah. So Matt W says the Irish curse. My real dad calls it. It runs in his side of the family. That also scared me away from frequent binging. Man, binging is the drink is a curse, man. I tell you, I've seen it. I've seen it ruin lives, man. I've seen guys do like get in real trouble over it. I mean, end up getting all criminal convictions, all kind of shit from alcohol. People do things when they're drunk that they would never ever do when they're sober. Like, you know, it can change people really badly for the worse. Can really it can really make people do stuff that they really regret. Stuff they would never do when they're sober. But yeah. But so anyway, honestly I was having a good time at the house party. It was fun. But I was getting pretty wasted. Um and ended up leaving the house party. Ended up leaving the house party and I went out. My friend was DJing in a club in Tokyo, so I could get in. I had free passes into this like nightclub. By the time I got to the nightclub, I was like fucking lit. I was lit. I was fucked up, man. I was fucking, or so this is the second night in a row that I'm getting fucked up, and second night, and I'm having a good time in the club. There, I'm like rolling around. I'm talking to every chick, man. And like, I'm not being delusional. I was like, they were being very receptive because I was being very energetic. Chicks respond. There's one thing about when you when you have the perspective of being drunk and being around chicks, and it's kind of make you realize that chicks do respond very well to high energy, and like they do. So it's just something to it's not that you need to be drunk at all, but it gives you that perspective when you understand, especially in the club environment. They do respond well to it. um but yeah, I mean, I was just being I had already I had already hooked up. I had already hooked up from in the house party, so I was kind of like I had that, like, maybe I also had that energy off me that I always talk about, chicks like to get with guys that are already fucking. So obviously I had that vibe fresh off me. Like, I just fucked at a house party, you know. And so I had that vibe straight off me, and I was already in the club talking to all these other girls, and you know just being a complete degenerate, man. Just chicks respond well to it. um Chicks respond really well to it. I was um i was really, having being pretty wild, to be honest. But almost got in a few fights. I mean, I remember there was this like really hot French girl, really hot, man. Fuck, like sexy, man. I don't even think I got, like, on Friday and Saturday night. I didn't even bother getting one number. Like, I didn't even try. Like, I just was, because there's just something like I was just not. I was talking to so many girls. I was like, I I I must have made out with at least five. Like, yeah, at least I think I don't know. I just remember I made out with a bunch of girls. It was like it was childish shit. Like, I was rolling around just like a fucking high school party or something. I was making out, but Friday and Saturday night I made out with maybe five different girls, just rolling around. I didn't even bother getting their contact details. I was just like in that carefree mood or whatever. I just didn't really give a shit. Um, But yeah, anyway, that French girl was super hot. I mean, I was like getting on with her pretty well, and dancing with her. Like, she was grinding her ass all over my crotch. And then her French friend came over and cock blocked, which was a guy, and I almost got in a fight with him. He was like, "Don't you touch her! Don't you touch her!" And I was like, "What the fuck? Don't fucking touch me, man!" And then he was like, "You don't touch me! You don't touch me!" And I was like, "I didn't fucking touch you, man!" I remember this, and like, cause he like kind of pushed me off her, and then no, she was like, we were dancing, he came over and really tried to cock block, and but um at that point the girl, he had already ruined it because it was her friend or whatever. So the girls are never gonna, it was her beta friend, but the thing is, like, girls are, they're always gonna take the side of their friends. So yeah, he just kind of ruined it. But I didn't really give a fuck. I could have gotten in a fight with him, but kind of, I'm glad I didn't. But I'm glad I didn't now. But because it would have ended badly. It would have ended. I don't know what would have happened, but anyway, he didn't. But you're gonna deal with that shit. In nightclubs, you're gonna deal with. It's not surprising. I mean, come on, like that shit's kind of standard. You're gonna deal with cock blockers, people annoying you, being in, getting in your way. Um. Uh. Matt W says losing driver's licenses permanently and house arrest not worth it. Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely a curse. I mean, I've gotten in trouble too. I've been, back. I've been in trouble. I've been in trouble. I didn't do anything super bad, but I definitely got in trouble back in Ireland. I definitely got in trouble with the law a little bit, just from alcohol. Never was sober. Um, Matt W says the worst is getting challenged by a 5 foot little chick and she outdrinks me. Total backfire and no wet wiener for or future chance with the girl. Yep. Matt W says that French croissant don't want no fighting Irish hands. Yeah, I mean, you really can't be getting in fights especially, it's quite easy as a foreigner. It's quite easy to get you know it would be quite easy to get kicked out of Japan. Like, if I got in a fight and the police got involved, it would pretty much be it. I would get kicked out of Japan. Like, if you break the law, the Japanese don't fuck around. Like, I know one guy. I don't know him, but I mean, I've heard stories where people like do very very minor break the law in very minor ways and have gotten kicked out of Japan. There was a story. They warned, when I first came to Japan, the school I was in, apparently the previous Irish guy that was in the school, apparently he got drunk one night, and in Japan the apartments are very similar. Like, the doors look very similar in some of the apartments, the entrances or whatever. Anyway, long story short, he opened the door and went into the wrong house one night. Like, the door was open, he just went in, and he got kicked out of Japan for doing that. That's too much, in my opinion. Um, that is taking it too far. But I remember, even not I wasn't even drunk at all. It was like, because for the first 5 years in Japan, I didn't have one single drink. Um, but yeah. So I remember when I first came to Japan. I remember, even one night I was coming home. I was kind of looking at my phone, and I actually went into the wrong house with myself. But I soon realized, it was fucking hilarious. It was bizarre because I was literally looking at my phone, walking along. I open the door, I walk in, and I just read, "Oh shit, these aren't my shoes." And I just, oh fuck, I'm in the wrong place. And I just quietly step out and go into my place. But so I can understand how that would happen. But yeah, I can understand how if you were drunk that could easily happen. But yeah, so but yeah, that was I was wilding out in the fucking in the club. Um just bouncing around. Eventually again it gets pretty hazy. Pretty hazy. I think I stayed till the end, but again back out in the streets, like after the club, just kind of rolling around talking to people. It's just being a degenerate. I end up, I ended up like realizing I had to eat something. I was kind of hungry at that point because I really hadn't eaten anything. But so I went to this ramen place. Started fucking, started talking to people. But yeah, I ended up, you know, I ate some ramen. I left my AirPods there. Went back. The thing I love about Japan is how on it, you if you lose some shit and you've some rough idea where you left it, if you go back there, chances are that it's going to be there. Like, so yeah, I mean, I went and I left my AirPods because I was fucking drunk as shit. Left it in the ramen place. You know, uh, I got them the next day, but yeah, so I eventually I got home because I was just like, I got the first train home. It was pretty wild night. It was wild. I went to a house party, hooked up, went out, fucking talked to all these girls, made out with a bunch of girls. Like, it was just degenerate as fuck. I mean, it was fun. The thing about it is, it's fun, but it's not worth it, really. Like, it's not worth it because I know if I looked at myself, from an outside perspective, I'd be like, this fucking idiot, this fucking like annoying, just shut the fuck up. Like, and then even, just the price you have to pay the next day. Even not only do I not like how I behave while drunk, but I don't like how I behave the next day. I don't like the hangover, obviously. The price you have to pay for that like fun, that living in the moment kind of thing. Um, by the way, I want to say that it's definitely easier to do game in Japan while clean shaven. I want to say that like straight up, like it's like it definitely makes game easier. I've been playing on hard mode actually. Like now I realize, like yeah, especially like it's funny, man. Like looks do matter. It just made me realize shit. Like certain looks, what chicks do care about looks, like really much. Like you gotta, like it does matter. I mean, in Japan anyway. Just I noticed it just from being doing game and being out in the clubs and uh, talking to girls in the clubs. I mean, before it would just be like it just less receptivity and like yeah, like so it's not just a fluke. I mean, because I talked to, like, man, I must have talked to at least 100 girls, like, so then you can make some assessments after that. At least 100 girls over Friday and Saturday night, easy, like easy. I must more probably. I don't know, but lots. I was bouncing around, like talking to all these different girls, and I was just dealing with more receptive girls and like hot girls too, like girls that would I find, because I've obviously approached thousands of girls, because that's what I do. But you know, I just noticed that like the quality of the girls that are being receptive to me has increased. So yeah, man, I've been playing on hard mode. That's why it's like it's good almost because it's like it's like it's like doing weighted pull-ups. And when you take off the weights, you're like, you can do a load, you know, with the if you're doing like putting on, so that's what it's like with the beard. But yeah, so woke up, the next day. When was it? Yeah, so this was Sunday morning. Sunday morning, man. Fuck, man. Woke up. I don't know what time. I can't even remember. It's a bit of a haze, man. Um, woke up just like hard to describe the feeling, man. Just like dehydrated, like because this is the rollover, man. This is the rollover hangover, man. This is fucking serious. Like my body just doesn't feel right. I'm just like, yeah. So I just had to consume some water, because I was just like, I it's all liquor too, no beer or anything. It was like Friday night and Saturday night was all liquor, lots of liquor. It really was a lot of liquor. Um, a lot, like just drinking all night. Like I don't know how I didn't puke. That's interesting. I didn't puke. I seriously felt like puking the next on Sunday morning. Not even morning because it was like I guess afternoon. So got up, fucking, you know, just totally. I just feel like everything, my skin's crawling. Sunday. Realized that didn't have my AirPods, so and I got my shit together. I had a shower. I was just fucking wrecked. Like my body just felt wrecked, man. Like I actually felt like actually still felt drunk. So I didn't like I just felt more nauseated, but I still like I stood up. I felt still I still felt drunk. So. And I really want to get my AirPods back because I didn't want to lose. Sam, man, it's about $300 or whatever. So I was like, fuck, man, just don't want to take these L's, man. On top of all like all this hangover and shit, losing. I hate losing shit. I really don't like it. It's annoying as shit. And lost my gloves. Just bought them. Just dumb shit, like just dumb shit. But yeah, so I went into the ramen shop. Luckily, they had them. I had no idea. Because I was like, I know I was there. So, and I went there and I was like, I forgot. Hey, excuse me, I forgot. Might have forgot my AirPods. And they're like, oh yeah, here, yeah, was it this morning? I was like, yeah, it was. And they had them. I was like, holy shit, I'm surprised. But yeah, luckily they had them. Whatever. I felt a little bit better about it, but still was like hanging, like still just just was totally fucking, totally. I felt just so bad, man. So I just had to, I went home. It was I was just didn't feel myself. I really didn't feel myself because, it was Sunday afternoon and I was in like the downtown part of Tokyo. I just went there to get my AirPods. And I knew this was like so unhealthy because there were so many hot girls around. Like it was crazy. It was because it's near Christmas and shit. And it was like, man, man, Japanese girls, like they really do know how to dress. But I just had no desire to do any kind of fucking no desire to do any kind of game, even though there was just like so many hot girls. I was like, fuck, I'm really not myself. Like, this is not healthy. I had zero desire. I mean, I had it mentally. I was like, oh man, like, there's like, oh, just physically, I felt so like miserable. Um, so I was, I went home. I thought maybe if I go to an, a Japanese hot spring, it might like make me sweat out, the alcohol or whatever, or the toxins or whatever. So I went there, Sunday night. It helped a little bit, a little bit, I guess, but it didn't really. Still, it was just like, you know, still I was just fucked. I couldn't eat anything. I could only drink water. It was just like you had the shakes and shit. The going to the hot spring helped a bit, but it was just such a mission to even get there. Like everything was like a struggle. Like every step, like just walk, like everything, even like sitting on the couch felt like a struggle. It's hard to describe when you're that hungover. Everything, every little exhausting thing, even getting up from the couch to go and take a piss is like, it's like such a exertion. Like, because you've literally been poisoning yourself for 2 days. Um, so, and yeah, so I came back from the hot spring. I was exhausted, but I couldn't sleep. And then I just kind of lay restlessly, kind of you know was in my bed until Monday morning, I guess. And this is the thing. This is like a 2 day. It was like a 2 day hangover because I woke up Monday morning, and still felt bad, like because I hadn't eaten in properly in 48 more 48 hours, I guess. I hadn't really eaten. I had like a one protein shake, a bit of ramen, like this, in 48 hours. Um and I just, Monday still felt pretty bad. Monday was weird because I had like, I felt less nauseated, but I had like all, I don't know what the fuck I was doing like on Saturday night. But I mean, my ankle was fucked, like my back was fucked, like I guess I was doing some pretty rowdy shit. I didn't get in any fights, but I was like, it was just like I was jumping around, I guess, and doing all kinds of crazy shit. But yeah, I mean, Monday was like the day of the physical pain, like pains all over. Like, felt my skin was like, it felt like, physically, like, not so much, Saturday was, no, what was it? Yeah, Sunday was all about the, like, being nauseated and feeling like puking. But Monday was just like all about like physical pains, like injuries. I just felt old and shit. It was horrible, man. But yeah, man, as the 2 day hangover isn't good, and it's Tuesday now, and I still don't feel 100%. Like, really, like it's like a third day after it. And but yeah, I mean, the third day after it, man, and I'm like, fuck. And that's why I want to, just talk about it today. And just just give an insight into like how how bad it can be. um but Know Your Worth says chamomile honey tea helps your stomach appetite. Good to know, man. Good to know. um so I just want to share this video, maybe to talk about the benefits of not drinking, because I'm, by the way, I'm like, I this has put this this just this weekend has been a bit of a catalyst to put me back on the wagon. I'm listen, I'm like not even one of the like, I'm not even against other people drinking, but I'm just talking about like the harm it can actually cause people. um you know um it has to come internally, really. Like, if you want to quit drinking, it has to really be come from inside. you know um it can help being around people that don't drink as much. But ideally, you want to get to a point where being around other people that drink doesn't affect your decision not to drink whatsoever. And that's the way I was for a long time, and that's the way I want to get back to. But yeah, this weekend made me realize I really do. I'm certainly going to be rolling into 2022 sober. That's just personal decision, because that's just, it's just really the ROI, everything is just really not worth it when all things considered. having the, crazy wild time. It's just, it really doesn't work. And drinking responsibly really doesn't, unfortunately, just isn't in my character. It's just not. I mean, it's not that I never could, but it's always kind of up in the air. But yeah, let's just watch this short video.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, pop quiz. What makes you feel incredibly healthy, saves you lots of money, gives you the best sleep you've ever had in your life, and can help your body run smoother than ever? If you answered quit drinking, you'd be exactly right. Coming up in today's video, a timeline on what happens to your body as soon as you put down the bottle. Before we begin on our timeline, why not click the subscribe button and the notification bell too, so you never miss out on our daily videos. 1 minute later. You should feel proud. You've decided to make a commitment to your health. You should also start to feel bubbles of excitement about how good you're going to feel in the next few days and weeks. The first 12 hours. Okay, truth be told, the first day of not drinking will probably be the hardest. You'll have to start breaking your normal routine of drinking at the same point, and this will also be the day of identifying the triggers that make you want to drink. To help you out during this trying time, it's recommended that you try sticking to healthy foods, even though you may crave sugar. This will help you boost your mood while your body adjusts to this new normal. While your body is busy flushing the booze from your system, you could start to feel a few effects of withdrawal coming on, depending on how heavy of a drinker you were. This part doesn't feel great, but trust us, it is worth it. Just keep going. 2 days later. Okay, now you're starting to get the hang of it. The hardest part is pretty much done, so give yourself a pat on the back. By now, you should start to notice your energy levels are way better, because regular drinking can affect your sleeping in a really bad way. Sure, it makes you feel drowsy in the beginning, but once you're asleep, booze can actually prevent you from getting that restorative deep sleep we all need to feel good the next day. After a night of drinking, even if you've managed to sleep a full 7 hours, you're still gonna wind up feeling tired. Now that you're 48 hours into sobriety, when you go to sleep, you should start to notice you're feeling really rested and ready to take on whatever the day can throw at you. 3 to 4 days later. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror lately? Because you are looking fabulous. Not drinking can really have a great impact on your skin, stomach, and how you smell. Oh, yeah. Did we forget to mention that drinking too much means that alcohol will leave your body by way of sweat, breath, and pee? There's a reason your bedroom might smell like a bar after a night of heavy drinking. Not to mention, when you drink, you're dehydrating your body and your skin. Once you cut back on alcohol, your eyes and skin will start to look way better and brighter. Alcohol can also make you all puffy and bloated, which doesn't feel or look good. So it makes sense that the more you cut back, the better you'll look. 1 week sober. Yeah! You made it to the 1 week mark. The difficulty of getting to this point isn't so much the craving or withdrawal of booze, it's breaking the habit of drinking, especially in social settings. By now, you'll have made it through a weekend when most people like to cut loose and will usually involve some type of booze being present. One way to deal with the social pressures of always having a drink in your hand at parties is a wonderful creation known as a mocktail. Shirley Temple, soda water with lime, virgin pina colada, basically any cocktail sans booze. Keep in mind, these mocktails are usually full of sugar, so you'll still be adding more calories to your diet, but the idea here is to block out the booze, so good job, that's a win. By now, your sleeping patterns should be much better, and your
Just want to say one thing about that. I mean, for all the years that I didn't drink, for years and years, I just never, it was never an issue. Like no one ever really made an issue. Like even on dates, like if I went out with a chick, I would just tell her, ask her what she wanted. I will always ask her what she wanted first. And, she'd either order alcohol or not alcohol. whatever drink she wanted, and I'd order a soft drink. And if sometimes they'd say, "Oh, you're not drinking," and I'd say, "I am. I'm okay, but don't worry. You have your drink." It's just if you don't make a big deal out of it, other people aren't going to make a big deal out of it either. It's just like just behave like it's literally nothing. Like you don't give a shit. So it's just like it's never a thing. I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm not drinking. Like, it never said that. It's just I just didn't make an issue out of it.
Energy levels have probably improved as well. 2 weeks in. It can take at least this long for the body to fully detox from drinking. This is the part where you start to get to know what you're like without drinking. You'll start to reshape relationships with others and yourself. By now, you've probably implemented some healthier habits into your routine where the drinking would have normally been. The best part about this point is that your mental clarity will really start to shine. If you've been drinking for many years, frontal lobe damage can occur in your brain. That's where your emotions are regulated, short-term memories are made, and that's where you make judgment calls on your actions. It's a pretty important place. So when it's swimming in alcohol all the time, no wonder it gets damaged. Once your brain has a chance to sober up, you'll start thinking more clearly, and you'll find that you're getting better equipped to handle your emotions. Your mood should really start to improve by this point, looking better and feeling better. Not a bad combo if you ask us. 30 days later. By now, this should be feeling like the new normal, and you're starting to really see how abstaining from alcohol can benefit your health. I mean, especially when it comes to your liver, as chronic drinking can lead to something called fatty liver, and this prevents the liver from doing its job of filtering toxins in your body. But the best part about being sober for at least a month means your liver got a break, and it's probably performing at a much healthier level now. That is, if it wasn't too damaged in the first place. Your energy levels will continue to get better as well, and your blood glucose levels, or the amount of sugar in your blood, will have decreased by up to 16%. Too much sugar in your blood can lead to insulin resistance or eventually diabetes. With these levels of sugar dropping, so does the risk of developing diabetes. We often hear folks taking a break from alcohol, and according to the research out there, taking a month-long break from booze is one of the best things you can do for your body. Regular drinking increases the risk of cancer, liver disease, and many other complications. But abstaining from booze or cutting down can really have a lifelong benefit, not to mention the amount of money you'll save. Research has also shown us that once you make a habit of cutting down on your drinking, you're more likely to cut back in general throughout your entire life. Have you recently cut back on drinking? What benefits have you noticed since you quit the habit? Why not offer any words of encouragement or suggestions you may have on ways to cut down on drinking in the comments section below? Enjoyed this video? Hit like,
All right. Just want to share that, show some positives about for any of you guys that want to maybe consider drinking less or not drinking at all. Personally, I'm the type of guy that I'm all or nothing. So that's why for me, it's like, it's a lot easier. Makes more sense for me to just either, I'm either drinking or I'm not. And for now, I'm rolling into, I'm definitely going to be rolling into 2022, being sober for sure. Just because it's overall, it's just better for me. It becomes, once you start realizing the benefits of it, it becomes, a lot, it actually becomes a lot easier. Once you get into the state of mind where it's like, I'm benefiting from not drinking instead of just thinking about, oh, that's that very short. It's because it's very short high you get. It's very sloppy high. There is element of reward, but you have to pay for that. It's not a free reward. You pay for it by either doing really stupid things or by getting a hangover or whatever, or paying a lot of money. So for me, it's like this weekend was a good catalyst to kind of maybe it's a good thing that I pushed it to this limit, or I would have continued on drinking I think maybe. I think if this weekend, if I didn't push it like this far this weekend, which I did, like I really pushed it to the point of like, just like complete, just destroyed my stomach. But yeah, just if I didn't do that, I probably would, continue drinking into 2022. And yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen now. Um, uh, Mitch Dodd with the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Being half Irish, it's all or nothing when it comes to drinking for me too. Must be in the genes. Yeah, man. It really it I think it, especially, for Irish, the stereotype is definitely true. I mean, Irish people definitely have an inkling for drinking. Um, but I mean, it's a lot of people around the world have the same thing. Um, but yeah, again, appreciate the super chat, brother. Um, yeah, but for me, I'm starting off 2022 going sober. It's gonna, it's just gonna be better. I look forward to just being healthy, keeping my mind, my mind sharp, always being sharp, not behaving in ways that I don't want to behave. Getting, good, always getting good sleep. Always eating well. Always just maximizing, just operating at a maximal level. Not fucking poisoning poisoning myself, and just trying to put yourself together again. Like I said, today's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, so I'm still not myself. Like from 2 nights drinking, it's like I'm a much better than I was like on Sunday and Monday, but still don't feel 100%, and that's not good, man. If you're like, if it's something's having that much of an effect on you, man, it's bad. Like it's definitely not a good sign. So for me, yeah, I look forward to a sober 2022, and just continuing to live the player lifestyle. That's much is for sure. But I can even live even more of a player lifestyle when being sober. That much is true. Like alcohol is a distraction for me, man. I prefer women, man. Women are is that's my drug of choice. Like, you know, um, honestly, if I wasn't drinking, I probably would have taken that girl from the bar, like on the Friday night, the girl that was giving me the IOIs. If I was had a clear state of mind and hadn't had some drinks, I would have seen her and taken her home probably, and wouldn't have never have, went on this binge throughout the whole weekend. Um, you know, but 2A714 says, "I'm with you, Max. Sobriety is clarity. Clarity of mind, man. That's what you want. You want this confusion, anxiety, and haze that you get with hangovers and not, feeling your best. And you know you do some, you can do some really fucked up shit when you're drunk, man. um I've known countless guys that have done life altering shit. One of my best friends back in Ireland, I remember he fucking broke his hip and elbow, and had to get screws in his elbow and hip, just because he was drunk. Like, um, Know Your Word says, when I began a low calorie phase or fast, you get enormous energy levels. Salads, teas, infusions, fruits, and veggies. A week from now, get the steak. Good stuff, man. Wade Emery says, I don't miss the hangovers, man. It's they are just like, hangovers are literally like, they're like hell on earth. Like, it's like shit. I'm living in a state of hell right now. That's what a real hangover is. Like, it's a state of pure misery, like a real hangover. I'm not talking like had a few beers kind of hangover. I'm talking like real physical misery. That's what a real hangover. Yeah, who would miss them? waking up after a good, there's nothing better than waking up after a good night's sleep, having a coffee in the morning and just feeling good, starting your day off right. You can't start your day off right with a hangover. It just doesn't, you can't start your day off like that. Fuck, couldn't even drink a coffee if I was hungover. I wouldn't be able to swallow. You can't do anything. It's nasty, man. But Wade says, yeah, the memory of those bad hangovers keep me sober. That's awesome. That's good to hear, man. Yeah, you need this. You need those. Sometimes you need those memories. You need to remind yourself of why you don't drink. Yeah, but yeah, I'm fairly confident. I'm gonna have an entirely sober 2022. So after this weekend, it was just a little too much. Thankfully, I didn't do anything too fucked up, but it was just enough to say, "Oh man, come on, this isn't worth it." It was just enough. I didn't do anything seriously stupid, although I could have, and that wouldn't have been good. But yeah, gladly didn't. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna cut it there. As usual, like, comment, subscribe. YouTube fucking over my account, but it is what it is. Check out the links in the description if anyone wants a consultation on game. Hit me up. But until Wednesday, I'll probably drop a video on Wednesday. But until then, guys, peace out. Bye bye.